everyone, and thanks for joining Children's Art Museum of India. In this tutorial, we'll be focusing on watercolor florals, exercising the tips on how to improve the way we make petals with our watercolors. Whether you are a complete beginner or looking to refine your skills, I'll guide you through each step. Firstly, I've divided my paper into 3 equal halves, and this tutorial is divided into 2 parts. The first one being all the florals, and the second 2 will be leaves and florals both. Let's start by picking your favorite shade. I'm taking pink and mixing a bit of red into it. You should be using size number 6 or size number 8 paintbrush, not smaller than this and not bigger than that. Now into this mixture I want to create a little bit violet tone, so I'm adding just a hint of blue into this mixture, and it creates a beautiful maroon dark pink color which we need. Now if you're going for more of a purple or pink painting or orange flowers, that's totally up to you. Let's start by making the petals. There are 2 ways to do a watercolor floral painting. Either you can paint all the flowers loosely with your paintbrush, directly going in with your paint and brush, or you can sketch it. Now in the kind of painting which we are doing right now, these all are going to be mixed florals and random petals. This does not need any light sketch or outline. Just pick your size number 6 or size number 8 paintbrush and start painting the petals like I am doing. You can come from outward to inward or inward to outward, whichever way feels more convenient to you. I am trying both ways over here. This is going to be a plain, proper floral painting, so you can mix your desired petal color on your palette. Start with the lighter shade or even darker one, that doesn't matter because we are not layering in these flowers. Here we are focusing to create the painting with single layer, and for each element we are aiming for a fresh and immediate look. We are not going to go over the painted petals one more time. The shades can change. The amount of purple, red and blue you mix, it can change the shade of your petals. So here I earlier added lot blue and less of red, so it created a purple color which is not going with our painting. The shade which we are going for is going to be a blush pink, a pastel pink or maroon. Now loading up your brush is a very important thing while you are achieving this kind of petal shape. You have to have the control of water to pigment ratio to achieve the desired transparency and intensity of the color in one go. If we are making a 5-petaled flower, so the intensity of the paint and water ratio should remain same for all the 5 petals. Make sure you are using your paint brushes in maximum capacity because they have ability to give shape and beautiful edges to your florals. Use your brush strokes to define the shape and edges of the petals properly. Vary the pressure on your brush to create softer or more defined edges. Here we are making more soft edges as I am making grounded petals. Embrace imperfections. This style often celebrates the fluid and slightly unpredictable nature of watercolor and for the flowers. As we have not sketched them with a pencil or a pen, this is a freehand watercolor floral painting, and this is an exercise for you to experiment how beautifully you can shape up the petals. Initially I didn't like the first 4 flowers which I made, but now I like how they are coming out, how they are taking the shape and how beautifully they are flowing. So give yourself time, understand how your brush works, how your paint reacts with water, and how much paint to water ratio you need, and what's the shape that you are looking for your petals to be in, your flower to be in. How many petals do you want? You want 6 petals or 5 petals or 4 petals flower? That's totally up to you. I'm keeping a mix of both. You can see I'm changing the consistency of my paint. I'm not making all the flowers dark. That means you have to switch between the shades. sometimes adding more water to any flower, sometimes adding more paint to any flower. So if in simpler language I have to explain this, we are going to create depth and dimension by adding lightly painted flowers and darkly painted flowers together. Lightly painted flowers recede into the background. Because we are using diluted washes, that means more water, less paint, they create a sense of airiness and can mimic the effect of atmospheric perspective, where distant objects appear lighter and less saturated due to the distance from the eye level of the viewer. Now darkly painted flowers on the other hand, they come forward in the composition, acting as focal points or elements in the foreground. Stronger pigment concentration creates richer, more intense color that grab the viewer's attention and suggest proximity. The contrast between light and dark areas within these flowers also helps define their form and volume. That's why the lightly painted flowers are mostly the tinier ones. Along with this, a composition with a mix of light and dark flowers creates visual interest and contrast. The darker flowers can stand out against a backdrop of lighter ones, drawing the viewer's eye to specific areas the artist wants to emphasize. It's a very important principle in fine art, emphasis. The contrast created in value, which means lightness of or darkness of any color, is a fundamental principle of art that helps to define shapes, create mood, and establish a visual hierarchy within the painting. So if you are painting anything, just try to introduce this principle into your painting and create it more interesting and creative. If you ever see a painting which is painted with very lightly colored flowers, it might evoke a feeling of delicacy, freshness, or a bright sunny day. Whereas darker flowers can contribute to a more dramatic, moody, or even mysterious atmosphere, especially when contrasted with strong highlights. To add finishing touches in my painting, I'll be using deep yellow, or you can use orange also, or any contrasting color with the pink shades to add the flower buds. There you have it. Your beautiful watercolor florals are complete. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and feel inspired to keep painting. Don't forget to share your creations. See you again in next art tutorial at Children's Art Museum of India.